Hey guys, hello again, how are you? Right, okay, as I say, I'm going to do quite a few videos. So this video is going to be all about the Nintendo 3DS, which as you know I picked up last week. The beautiful thing that it is, it's an absolute stunner. I picked up the 3DS, if you haven't seen that video already. I picked up the 3DS with 4 games. I got Super Street Fighter 4 3D, Lego Star Wars 3 The Clone Wars, Ridge Racer 3D, and Pilot Wings. So this video is basically going to be my impressions of the 3DS so far. It's only been a week since I owned the system, and I've played it every day since I've owned it because it is bloody amazing. So yeah, I'm just going to give you my overall impressions of the hardware and the software, and also the games, what I think so far. So first of all, the hardware itself. Me personally, I absolutely love this. I think this is a really well made bit of kit. I don't know if it's going to come out on camera really. I mean, you can try and get close. I don't know if you're going to get a proper sense of how nice this system actually looks. I really like the colour scheme. I think the blues, the fact that you've got different layers of blue looks really nice. I know some people don't like it. I personally think it looks fantastic. It feels well made. It's really well constructed. It's solid. It feels like you're getting £200 worth of equipment. A lot of professionals that I've seen have said, like leading up to the launch, were saying that it looks cheap. It doesn't feel like it's an expensive bit of kit. To me personally, it does. I feel like I've got my money's worth out of it. So there you go. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I'm going to start with the negatives, like I do with gaming when I give my impressions on games. There aren't a lot of negatives. So basically, the minor negatives that I have for this system. One, which is a really strange one, and it seems that only me and my friend have found this so far. I don't know if anybody else has. But when I'm playing on the DS, I like to have it at that angle, like that there. And if you slightly move it, I found it does that. You see, it snaps back and it goes like complete angle like that. And I don't know why it does that. It's quite annoying. It doesn't seem to stay in that position easily. It's quite it wobbles around quite a bit. You see what I mean? It's just done it there. So that's a little negative. It's a bit annoying. Another negative is going to be something that everybody talks about, and that is the stylus position. Now the stylus position, if you don't know, is right there on the back left hand side. Now for me personally, I'm right handed. Now I think the majority of people are right handed. So why would they put it there? Because I can't grab with my left, and it's very awkward to grab it as well. That's another thing. It's really tightly fitted, so you have to sort of get your nail under it and snap it out, which is a pain in the arse. I've gotten a bit better with it as far as actually just turning the system slightly and just going like that and grabbing it like that. I mean, when I first got it, I was like this. I was like, and then you just lose the 3D effect because you're looking at the back of the machine. Now, obviously, you can take this out of the system first before you start the system up, but then that kind of defeats the object for having a place to put it, because then you're just going to go, right, I've done that. Now the game doesn't really need the stylus, and you go like that and put it on the side, and then you forget about it, walk off, and lose it. So, yeah, I do think that personally they should have left it on the side there. That would have been a much better position, but there you go. I'm not so keen on the volume slider. It is a bit cheap, I suppose. I just think it maybe should have been a dial. I know it's a bit old school, or maybe they should not have had it there at all. Maybe it should have been digital in the software so that you do it on the touch screen, you up and down the volume. I don't know, anything would have been better than that. It just seems a bit crap, but yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Other than that, I mean, I don't really have major negatives. So I'm going to go on to the positives of the system now. I like the fact that it's got pretty much everything you need. It has a wireless option on the side. It has your 4 buttons, obviously. It's got a D-pad. It's got an analog slider. It's got your select, your home, your start, which are absolutely fantastic. Having the home button is an essential. I like that a lot. You've got a power button there. You've got your jack in there for your headphones. You've pretty much got everything. You've got obviously on the back, you've got where you put your charger, you've got your cartridge slot. I mean, it's got everything you need. It's really well constructed. You've got 2 cameras on the front there. There's a camera on the front, on the inside. So it's really well done. I really like the layout. Now, for me personally, the best thing about the system as far as the actual layout is the analog slider. That analog circle pad there is the greatest thing I've ever seen on a handheld. I honestly thought when I first heard about the 3DS that was going to be some cheapo piece of crap that was going to throw on as an additional thing just to give you analog support and not really pay much attention to it, and you'd end up using the D-pad. I was so wrong. They've done an absolutely amazing job. It's hard to explain until you experience it yourself, but it's a really good size because I've always found these buttons are too small for my thumbs. But it fits the thumb perfectly. It feels comfortable. It's smooth action. It snaps back into position, no problem at all. It's really tight as well. It's not like a loose one. It feels really responsive and reliable. It's a really nice idea. I've actually found that playing games like Street Fighter and Ridge Racer, which traditionally I would use digital D-pad because I don't find analog gives the right experience when playing those games, and trying to pull moves off on Street Fighter with analog, always found that difficult. But I've got to say, with 3DS, I don't use the D-pad. It's completely and utterly redundant to me. That analog thing just works perfectly. You can pull Street Fighter moves off without a problem. It's amazing on Ridge Racer. I mean, the precision you get when drifting around corners using that, I can't recommend it hardly enough. I really am impressed with that. The screen itself is beautiful. You know, in 2D it looks stunning. The graphics on the machine are just so impressive. You know, considering you've got launch titles and this is really early in the life, you look at games like Street Fighter 4. I just can't believe they got that running on a handheld, especially as a launch title. You know, it's just absolutely phenomenal. You've got the 16:9 wide aspect, which just looks stunning. It's just an absolutely cracking screen, really impressive. The 4x3 touchscreen looks really nice. I'm not impressed that much with the touch capabilities. If you're using the stylus, it's absolutely great, responsive and everything. But a lot of the time, because some of the games I have are not really involving the stylus as much, it's just the occasional button press. Like when you're playing Lego Star Wars, you have character selection there, and there's like 3 circles really tightly together grouped. And so because I'm not bothering to get the stylus out every 5 seconds to change characters, I'm using my thumb, and I find it doesn't respond half the time. It doesn't recognise what I'm doing, or other times, because they group the 3 characters so close together, I go to hit like Yoda and I hit one of the troopers instead, or I go to hit one of the troopers and I hit the wrong one, or I hit Yoda. It's kind of frustrating. So I know you could say, well, you just need to use a stylus, but when you're playing the game, to constantly have the stylus in your hand is just awkward, or to constantly keep taking it out and putting it back is awkward, so I don't like that. 2 of the best features of this system for me personally are the slider, which I know some people are saying it's cheap. Personally, I don't think it is. It might look a little cheap, but I don't think it feels flimsy or anything. It feels fine to me. I don't know. To me, that is the most amazing part of this technology, is the fact that you have a slider you can go from 2D down there to like all the way up to 3D, and you can have like in between. I mean, I can't understand how that technology works, and it's probably really simple, but it just seems so bloody clever. The fact that you can adjust the level of 3D to adjust to your eyes is just amazing. And the most important thing for me personally, and this is something I was not expecting from a handheld, because handhelds usually, it's not the greatest feature, is the audio. The 2 speakers are absolutely fantastic. It's a really nice sound. It's not overly tinny like a lot of machines like the PSP was, or even the old Game Boy Advance and that. I mean, the sound's average, but it's not brilliant. But it's really nice on this. And you've put a set of headphones in, and it's just stunning. Playing Ridge Racer, I love the Ridge Racer music anyway, and it just sounds amazing on headphones. So I'm very impressed. And I don't think enough people are giving this machine credit for its audio capabilities, because I'm really impressed with it. I think it's excellent. So yeah, that's mostly the hardware side of things. I'm overall very impressed. The 3D effect is completely phenomenal. It's too early yet to understand what it's really going to be used for, because these games are just basic games to start you off, just to give you an idea. In the future, I mean, who knows what developers are going to come up with. I think some really good things on the horizon for the 3DS, so I'm really looking forward to the future of the system. Now, you do get some inbuilt software. I haven't used the AR cards yet, because I've been playing the actual games that I've got, so I need to test the AR cards, so I can't give my thoughts on those yet, but I will in the future when I've tried them. I have tried Face Raiders, which I've got to say is just one of the coolest little things. It's such a great little mini game. I mean, if you don't know what it is, basically you take a photo of yourself or somebody else. You can even take photographs of posters and things and use those faces, and it puts the face in a helmet. And then, how do I explain this? Basically, the helmet flies around the room. You've got to fire balls into the helmet. Now, it sounds pretty basic, but you're actually moving around like that, and you can see the whole of your room, but you can like move all the way around and like this, and it's absolutely fantastic fun. And you get like a boss battle, and it progresses and gets more difficult, and I think it's great. I think it's a really nice little freebie to throw into the system. I love the menu system. I think it's easy to access everything you want to access, your settings, your me makers, your friends list. Everything's really simple to find. I like the fact that the friends list is easy to do as well. You just one friend code, you both put it in and Bob's your uncle. I would have liked to have seen an option whereby if someone gives you their friend code, you're in like on a home console at 360 or PS3, you just put the friend code in, and then because you're connected to the internet, they get a message and says, oh, SNES wants to add you as a friend, would you like to accept? And you accept. It's a bit annoying that you both have to put each other's friends' codes in. I still think Nintendo need to work on their online capabilities in that respect. As far as the online is concerned, I've only tried Street Fighter 4 and I was really impressed. I basically jumped straight into a game within about a minute and a half, maybe less than that. It was no problem at all. It was seamless, very smooth, no lag, and quite honestly, I was impressed because I was playing it on around my dad's house. Mum and dad's internet, like my own, is not very good. They get about 2 meg line, and I had no problem at all with it. So really, really impressive. So overall, I think the 3DS is a really great system. Fantastic hardware, really well thought out, exceptionally well designed, and personally, I think it's well worth the money. Now, obviously, software-wise, is going to be the decision for a lot of people as to whether to pick one up at the moment, and there's not been a shortage either. It seems to be the fact that pre-orders were a bit of a waste of time because you can pick up a 3DS anywhere at the moment, which is good. So I think if none of the games actually appeal to you, I would wait until something comes out that interests you, because £200 is a lot of money to spend on something that you might not play that much once you've tried out the 3D side of things and you've tried out like Face Raiders and the AR cards. You might get a bit bored, so I would wait until there are more games that appeal to yourself. If you are interested in the launch titles, however, go and pick one up now because you won't be disappointed. The 3DS is stunning, and I have to say, and all for the first model, it's a good size. It's really nice. It's not overly bulky. So, as the 3DS, absolutely brilliant. I'll now go on to the games that I've bought for the system. So, first one up is Pilot Wings Resort. It's essentially a tech demo for the 3D, is what this is. But it's more than that when you actually play it. It's actually a really fun game. I really like it a lot, actually. It's one of those games you can just, when you don't want nothing too heavy, too serious, you can just chill out, put it on, just fly around Woohoo Island and just have fun with it. And I really like it. I love the music. The 3D isn't the best 3D I've seen on the 3DS. It's really, really good. There's no doubt about it. It's absolutely excellent. It looks amazing, and you definitely see the difference when you slide from 2D to 3D. But yeah, it's not. I mean, I don't understand it really, because this was made from the ground up for the 3DS by Nintendo. It should be the best 3D, but it isn't. But it's not to say the 3D isn't good. The 3D is excellent. It's just not as good as some other games. But yeah, I really like it. I think it's great. So I'll definitely recommend trying Pilot Wings. Next up, we've got Lego Star Wars 3: The Clone Wars. Now this one, I've had a dabble with it. It's all right. It's not brilliant. It's just it's just basically another Lego game, but with Star Wars characters. It's okay. I need to give it some more time, really, but it's just an average game. The 3D really isn't used that well at all. To me personally, I got to the point where I turned it off and just played it in 2D, and it's the only game I've done that with, because it just didn't add anything to it. It doesn't add anything to the gameplay, and just visually it doesn't really add anything either. The depth is not that amazing, so yeah, it's an alright game, but I wouldn't pick it up unless you get it for like £5 or something. I don't think it's worth full price. Next up is the game I've been playing the most this week, and I absolutely love this. It's Ridge Racer 3D. I'm a massive Ridge Racer fan. I'm not a big fan of racing games, but I love Ridge Racer because the arcade style is definitely my thing. This is just superb. I had Ridge Racers on the PSP when that first came out, and I was addicted to it. And so when I heard Ridge Racer 3D was coming to the 3DS, I was very excited and I wanted to get hold of it. And I haven't been disappointed. Basically, you're talking it's an amalgamation of games of the older Ridge Racer games. You've got tracks from Ridge Racers on the PSP, you've got tracks from Ridge Racer 6, tracks from Ridge Racer 7 on the PS3, and new tracks as well. And I love it, it's brilliant. I'm seeing that some people are saying, like in reviews, that the graphics aren't the greatest. But it's Ridge Racer, it's an arcade racer, you don't expect top end graphics, it's good enough for what it does. And I think it looks really nice, and the music is excellent. I love the music of Ridge Racer games. And as I said earlier, the analog circle pad, it just the amount of precision you get when drifting your car is just stunning. And the 3D is better on this than Pilot Wings, in my opinion. For me personally, I do think the 3D is different for everyone. I think depending on your vision, some people are going to see it as being amazing. Some people are going to see it's all right. Some people aren't going to be that impressed at all. So I think everyone's going to have a different perspective on the 3D in each game that they play, and just the 3D in general on the 3DS. I absolutely love. I think that this game's amazing. If like me you like Ridge Racer, just pick it up because you will not be disappointed. It's spectacular. Now it's the game that everyone is touting as the best 3DS game, and probably I'm going to have to agree. Street Fighter 4, or Super Street Fighter 4, an absolute phenomenon for a launch title. This is amazing. It's essentially the console. I can say arcade. The console game on your handheld. Everyone says that, and it is true. You know, the graphics aren't going to be up to the standard of the PS3 and Xbox because obviously they're HD and they're like really powerful machines. But just for a handheld system to have a game looking this good and playing this well, it's amazing for a launch title. It really is a stunning game when you see it in action. For me personally, I like Super Street Fighter 4. In fact, I like Street Fighter 4, but I'm always going to be a bigger fan of Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter 4 for me, I don't like the new characters like Rufus and some of the others they've put in. I can't think of their names because I'm not that interested in them. I think they're a bit shit, to be honest. I don't really see the point. If you're going to design new Street Fighter characters, make them interesting. They didn't do a good job. I don't like the English voice acting, it sounds crap. And I don't know how you change it to Japanese if you can on the 3DS version. I'm pretty certain, if I remember rightly, because I haven't played it on the PS3 for ages, but when I played it, I'm sure if you complete it once, it allows you to unlock it and use the Japanese voices, which sounds so much better. The English voices just sound crap. They sound really hammy and terrible acting. But yeah, the actual gameplay is spot on. The 3D really surprised me. I wasn't expecting great things from the 3D depth on Street Fighter because it's Street Fighter, and when you're on a 2D plane like that, what are they really going to do? But I've got to say, when you whack the 3D up and you look at it, and the background just goes, it is really impressive. It's spectacular. I've tried playing it on the 3D mode where it's over the shoulder, but I just can't play it like that. I find it really awkward. It looks great, but I just don't find it good for playing the game. So I like to play on the 2D plane with a 3D depth background. It's great. So yeah, I mean, if I was going to pick up a 3DS at the moment, the only two games I would recommend to pick up are going to be Ridge Racer 3D and Street Fighter 4. If you want proper games. If you're just looking for something to show the 3D off to your friends and to have a bit of fun with, then it would be Pilot Wings as well, or just Pilot Wings on its own if Street Fighter and Ridge Racer don't do it for you. I mean, other than that, the launch titles aren't the greatest. I bought the system intentionally because I was waiting for games like Star Fox to come out and Resident Evil Revelations, and you know, I wasn't sure if there's going to be a shortage or not because there usually is with systems. As it is, there hasn't been, but I'm not disappointed because I've got some great games to play. Love the system. I think it's amazing. And yeah, and all I can say is that, you know, all of the hype and, you know, all of the good stuff that's being talked about the 3DS is true. It's a really nice system. Even if you can't see the 3DS, or if you have no interest in the 3D side of things, if you can't see the 3DS, if you can't see the 3D, or you have no interest in 3D gaming, just buy it as a new DS, or if if you've never had a DS, buy this one. Or if you've got a DS Lite, DSi, DSi XL, whatever. If you want an upgrade, this is a fantastic upgrade. The graphics alone, you know, in 2D make this work only, so it's well worth the money. So yeah, that's just my thoughts really so far. I'm very impressed with the system, and the games are great. So I just can't wait to see what the future holds for the 3DS, because when Star Fox 64 comes out, oh, brilliant. And I hope to God they call it Star Fox, they don't call it bloody Lilac Wars. I've got a bad feeling they're going to call it Lilac Wars 64 3D. That would be really shit. And I can't import a foreign version because of the bloody region, like I say, annoying. But overall, guys, if you haven't got a 3DS and you're interested in any of the launch titles, I would definitely go out today and buy one if you can. If not, the games don't really appeal to you, just wait till Zelda comes out, Star Fox comes out, Kid Icarus, any of the fantastic Nintendo titles, or any of the third-party titles that might interest you. There are some pretty interesting games being made, and Resident Evil Revelations does look spectacular. So yeah, guys, I give it a big thumbs up. It's a quality system. So yeah, that's my opinion. I hope you enjoyed this video, and this is just my opinion, and if you disagree, that's entirely up to you. Leave a comment below, let me know what you think. So thank you for watching, guys. As always, I'll be back shortly with another video.